Hi there, it's Robert and Joy, and if you see us slapping each other,
Hey guys.
it's because here in Texas we've had rain even as far south as we live, or rather as far north as we live from Houston. So
there
we
are a
have
few
some
mosquitoes out here.
mosquitoes. So if you see us slapping, that's probably it. But we're in the kids' playhouse at my sister's place.
Fun little playhouse here.
A great playhouse with a slide going down.
It's elevated up off the yard. It's
got
really cool.
sun cloth on the top to keep the shade.
Pretty cool, actually.
So it's pretty cool. So Robert and I were actually talking about some habits that we used to have. And I can speak for myself, I know you can speak for you.
Yeah.
One of my habits in the past is I'm kind of sort of a carboholic. If there's a carb around, I swear I can sniff it out, and I used to eat those all the time. And so bread and pasta and rice, potatoes.
All those carbs. And for me, it was like, I've been an athlete all my life, been active all my life, been pretty lean. But I would have these intense carb cravings. I would sometimes sit down and eat a whole box of graham crackers or a whole box of granola cereal at a sitting. I just had, my body couldn't get enough. It was, now we know it was very imbalanced and what I was feeding it as far as the ratio. So anyway.
But also after you would have that box of graham crackers, then he would just crash. I mean, you would have
That's
to
true.
have,
My energy would plummet.
You would have to have a siesta, a little rest.
Yeah, or some kind of stimulant.
Yeah, so it's tough. So
roller coaster.
So we found kind of a way to help with this.
We did. Hey, Vicki. And again, bear with us. Part of the answer we found was tied to a superfood line that we actually market. But whether you use our particular, quality protein superfoods or not, the same suggestions here will be of help.
Yeah,
if that
definitely.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's kind of a term that's being thrown around quite a bit today.
Hey, Bryce.
And it's called protein pacing. And so, as most of you know, Robert trains like really, really hard for these ski marathons, and he has to train obviously in the off season to be ready for the season when it starts. And so kind of, Robert, how are you incorporating the protein pacing with your training?
Can you scoot that way so I can, you're shorter than I am. My head's hitting the seat.
Yeah, how about we just
No, that's fine. Just that way.
Oh, this way. Oh, sorry.
I'll move the video. There you go.
Oh, well, that was too simple.
So again, for me, protein pacing simply, it's kind of common sense, but which isn't always common. But protein pacing simply means that every 2.5 to 3 hours, you're putting some form of quality protein into your diet. Anywhere from, depending on your metabolism, depending on how active you are, anywhere from 20 to 35 or more grams of protein actually every 3 hours throughout the day.
Yeah. So for me, my situation is a little bit different. I mean, I work out, but I don't work out like Robert works out. So for me, when I have my morning shake and I have...
Again, just so we can't assume anything
kind of
here. So we start our day with a superfood. So it's a whey-based, very high-quality protein. Our typical morning breakfast is in the form of a shake, but it's has roughly sometimes 24, most of the time 36 grams of protein to start our day with.
So I'll usually start mine with the 24 grams of protein, and so I drink that for my breakfast. And so say I'm going to have a really intense workout, and after that workout I'm going to do just some straight protein, not some of the other things that we have in our shake, but I'm going to do straight protein.
Very clean, easy to absorb protein, which again, we have a source that we actually market, but again, there's other sources available.
So however it comes to you, I guess is what we should say.
Yeah.
But what happens to me when I do this high level protein just totally by itself about every 2.5 hours or so, if I'm really trying to get my weight down a little bit, or kind of get some of those hips gone like all the women fight, having that straight protein in between having a morning shake and an afternoon lunch or that sort of thing, if I have something in me about every 2 to 2.5 hours, if I have that protein in me, it makes all the difference in my hunger level. It makes a difference in how my skin looks underneath my clothes. And so
definitely your energy throughout the day.
Definitely
it's a big
the
factor
energy.
in
Yeah,
that.
but especially even like some of the little cellulite areas that we all struggle with, it makes a difference with that. But it just keeps me going nice and smooth. And so now Robert's going to use the exact same thing a little bit different because you're doing it at such a high level.
Well, well, yes and no. I mean, you just, with any kind of food intake, much less nutrition or even superfood supplementation, is that you adjust the calories and the amount of protein and carbs and fats to how many calories you're burning and your metabolism. So for me, you know, if it's a long day for me, that long day for me could be a 3 to 3.5 hour workout. And in that one workout, I may burn over 2,000 calories in that one workout. So you can, hey Janet, so you can imagine, especially, well, my pre-routine needs to be higher in that quality protein, fatty acids, some carbs, but that post window we're finding is probably the most crucial time, because remember, for any athlete, whether you're a honeybee looking to tone up and keep her metabolism, keep a lean body, or whether it's, in my case, I'm building strength, I'm building power.
Yeah, he's building a lot of muscle.
And I'm building the endurance. So that the recovery, the faster and more complete we can come back the next day for that next workout, the more recovered we are, the more intensity, and just it shortens the whole journey to that next level of endurance, next level of power, next level of strength, etc. So that post-workout window is extremely, in my opinion, the most crucial time for the building blocks of what our body needs to recover. If I go for more than 2 hours, that post meal, in our case, we tend to have a liquid meal, which is what we love to do, and it tends, if I do 2 hours or more, my post-workout meal or supplement or superfood is higher in carbs, because I'm replacing all that glycogen along with the building blocks for the muscle. If Joy does a gym workout for like an hour, which is typical, then Joy would, as she said, she'd focus on not so much the carbs, because she's not really depleting her glycogen, her supply of sugar and the muscle and energy. She's focusing mainly on obviously getting the minerals and electrolytes in, which she adds to her shake. Or more importantly, she needs a building blocks to help her rebuild the muscle that she's breaking down.
Yeah. And you know, also just a little tidbit, you know, sometimes, and if you're like me, you don't mean for this to happen, but it just happens. But like maybe you get up and you have that morning breakfast, however it comes to you, and then you get busy and you realize it's like, you look at your clock and it's like 2:30, it's 3 o'clock.
Not good, and you're starving, or
that you have not
energy's
had
plummeted.
any more, you know, anything else to eat. So for me, if I get in the kitchen at that point and I start putting stuff together, I am so hungry that I'm eating things that, you know, are not going to serve me well at all. So what I found that I do is, if I just make half of that protein shake and I drink on that while I'm getting my meal together, that really begins to satisfy me, and it keeps me out of that, you know, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, the grazing, where you begin, and if it's in sight,
any and everything in
you're going to have it to eat.
And it's not always that quality, that ideal ratio.
No, trust me, it is not that ideal ratio. So then I go ahead and have that meal or whatever, and then again, a lot of times, even before I go to bed, I will just have like maybe, once again, that half amount of protein that I would normally have if I were working out or whatever.
Which you mean,
which
like,
helps me go into bed and
what do you
not
mean?
wake up hungry.
It could be like 16 grams or...
Yes, absolutely. Instead of like, you know, like what we would say are 2 scoops, which are pretty much how all shakes come. You know, I would just do half of that. So whatever it is that you're using, just go half of it before bedtime. And once again, that keeps, you know, kind of gets the body all balanced again. You sleep very well throughout the night, and then you're ready for that next morning.
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference for me.
It makes a big difference. And whatever, if you use the animal protein or eggs or veggie protein, that's fine. If you do use something that we're talking about, like a shake or bar, we have one of our new bars has 28 grams of protein,
it's
which
really yummy.
I'm excited about, because it's so quick, you know, for the protein pacing. But whatever you're using,
Cookie dough?
whatever you're using, as far
That's
as
the name of the bar, by the way.
what's that?
Cookie dough.
Oh, cookie
It's the
dough,
name
yeah,
of
a
the bar.
brownie or
Strawberries and cream.
cream.
Yeah.
But if you do whatever, if you're grabbing something that's in the form of a meal replacement, just make sure that it does have the delivery system built into it. Meaning, it doesn't matter what's in the label, even the grams of protein or carbs or whatever, if it's not getting into your cells. It has to get through your stomach, through the gut, into the cells, and that's why it has to have a delivery system. It needs the enzymes to break it down. Hey Dan, it also needs the pro and prebiotics, make sure it has that, plus the bioavailable source. We tend to prefer whey because if you look at all the science behind it, there's even experts across the planet that tested all of these different types of protein and tested the biological, how it breaks down in the body. I mean, whey has the highest level of ease of absorption in the body. There's other forms of protein that tends to be our go-to source. So anyway, so really the whole key here, one reason we fell in love with protein pacing is because, as the title of our Facebook Live talks about, you know, looking back, we had those crazy carboholic sessions because our body was just the blood sugar, you know, the insulin, the ratio, what were we eating was just way off. And we were just, you know, we're not nutritionists, we don't even profess to be.
No.
But because of what we were eating and because it was more of a instant gratification type eating and not kind of at least a little bit.
Generally, those stupid carbs taste so yummy.
They do taste yummy.
So good.
But it would just throw off our energy and our hormonal system so much that we would, again, our body would just crave the wrong thing for that instant fix, which created that whole roller coaster. At one point, honey, you were like, you didn't have to, but you were like having 3 or 4 Diet Cokes and coffee throughout the day as a necessity to even function and maintain our energy levels, where now because we do have a good supply of healthy, clean protein, we're able to actually accomplish that 3-hour window or less throughout the day, and just stabilizing our body and our metabolism. We don't have the crazy carboholic cravings, and it's just made all the difference.
My tummy is much happier.
Our tummy, because at one point
for a while
wasn't pretty.
it was not a happy tummy at all, you know, with all those soft drinks and the coffee and the caffeine, and so thank goodness we found some good answers.
We had to help heal her tummy. But and for me, it's made the difference in again, lean muscle strength, getting some power, and obviously it helps me recover quicker, faster, better from the workouts I do, which is the key to coming into the next season faster.
And as a closing note, thanks so many to all of you that are praying for our great state of Texas. It's probably just one of the worst situations you can imagine. So for all the prayers and everything that's coming our way, we're a good 4.5 or 5 hours from that. So we are dry and sunny. We've had quite a bit of rain, but nothing like it's on the Gulf Coast. So we do want to thank Isogenics as well. They have sent a tremendous amount of
hundreds of thousands of meals, close to $1 million worth of meals in the form of our superfood that we love.
And they did it in the form with the bars and that sort of thing, so that people can get to the food right away and start eating. So they made some cash donations as well. They're keeping associates down there going. So we're just so grateful and so appreciative for all the prayers that have come to Texas to help everyone.
Everybody helping out. So thank you. Please continue to send prayers. Love you guys. Again, hope this little message helped. For us, it's made all the difference. Create an amazing day.
Bye.
You deserve it.